Ian, I know you're with us via Skype. I know there's always a bit of a built-in delay, but I want to play for you an exchange at the White House briefing today. We'll talk about it on the other side.
Why do you keep calling this the Chinese virus? There are reports of dozens of incidents of bias against Chinese Americans in this country. Why do you keep using this? A lot of people say it's racist.
It's not racist at all. No, not at all.
A person at the White House used the term Kung flu. My question is, do you think that's wrong, Kung flu? And do you think using the term Chinese virus, that puts Asian Americans at risk, that people might target them?
No, not at all. I think they probably would agree with it 100%. It comes from China.
Ian, what are we doing here?
Well, President Trump hasn't referred to this as the Chinese flu until about 2 days ago. It links up with his policies in response to coronavirus imploding and the markets imploding in the United States. And it made it harder for him to blame Obama, blame Biden. He needs someone to blame, and China is the proximate country. And the problem with that, of course, is, I mean, yes, it did indeed come from China originally. And furthermore, the Chinese did indeed cover it up for the first month. So they are responsible. But on top of this massive market meltdown and economic shutdown we're seeing in the United States right now, picking a fight with the Chinese, who feel vastly more confident today coming out of this crisis than they did after 2008, is going to cause more economic damage. And while it's politically expedient for Trump to do so in an electoral cycle, the likelihood that we end up in an economic fight with the Chinese, where we pull out of the phase one trade deal, they're not buying the goods they promised to buy, and the Chinese are making gains in places like Europe, the Middle East, where they're actually providing humanitarian medical aid, supplies, personnel, and the Americans are actually undermining the relations with those countries. The potential that we end up coming out of this coronavirus crisis in a Cold War with the Chinese is becoming real. That's an additional shock right now that you really don't want as we face by far the worst economic crisis we've had in a long time.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.